So, hi Shandor, could you please introduce yourself and the work that you do in Muse IT?
Yes, good morning everyone. My name is Shandor Daranye. I'm a retired person in HB, a professor emeritus, and I have been doing research in this institution for the past 20 years, also including pension. So the point is, Muse IT is the continuation of a previous project trying to bring multimodality and haptics, touch, into focus. Thereby serving the needs of a large portion of society who may be losing sight or hearing, including those persons who are even more severely disabled, including deaf blindness. The idea was, in this particular project, to bring different aspects of society closer to this population, including cultural heritage objects. So what do we mean by this? For example, paintings or museum objects, prominently not sculptures in this project, but also archaeology is, for example, addressed, and cultural history in general. HB, Högskolan i Borås, is the Swedish name. HB contributes in two important aspects to this project, not just being its coordinator, but also the first stream of activities is catering to social needs, such as exploring user demands, user needs, inviting future users to co-design procedures for outcomes, how they can participate in the output, participate in the outcome of the project, so as there would be a mapping between real needs and useful outcomes. The second aspect, where I'm more familiar with the ground, is the technological contributions. And here we have two streams of activities. One is in terms of haptics, how to convert content to patterns of touch or different kinds of tactile sensations. The second aspect is knowledge organization, how to formalize the information content, the semantic content and non-semantic content just as well, of pieces of art, so that persons with loss of sight or loss of hearing could explore these cultural artifacts and enjoy their impact, their stimulus on their bodies. The sample I'm working with are paintings. I'm pretty much interested in paintings, so the idea was to try and extract, and by extraction show users with sensory impairments what the content of a particular painting may be. And here we do different things. We extract the contours of the shapes in the painting, trying to turn it into a tactile sensation, so as somebody touching the screen would feel the outlines of a ship or a human body or a dog or a meadow, like this. The second aspect is to take the color distribution within contours, so that we would be able to tell a blind user, for example, that if you touch this area, you're sensing red color, and so on and so forth. There are also ongoing experiments to turn a painting into a relief, so that you would feel the curvature of the content of the shapes with your hand, for example. So this is very much about turning different modalities to touch, to haptics. When it comes to haptics, we have maybe two kinds of information to distinguish: non-semantic ones, such as the outlines, such as the contours or the color, because we refer to colors by just seeing them, but this has to be expressed somehow. The other kind of content is semantic content, when we know the topic of a painting and we want to convey this. And to this end, we are experimenting with different means. One is, for example, to convert colors to sound, to audio, or to haptic sensations, so that someone who knows the code would know that if I touch this area, I'm touching red color, or if I hear this note, I hear something which corresponds to red. This is the non-semantic part. The semantic part is trying to map words into haptic patterns. These are called haptograms in our own lingo, and by creating haptograms by dedicated tools my colleagues will speak about. By creating haptograms, one is able to create a haptic vocabulary and thereby, for example, translate captions of paintings to different incoming patterns of touch. This is a long story cut short, but this describes or the nature of our haptic activities. The other areas where we are active is knowledge organization, where we are contributing to ongoing work in this project to create solid knowledge structures which will describe the content of collections, prominently the Muse IT collection, stored in something called a dataverse, and also becoming available by a dedicated platform on the Muse IT website. And the future for this will be that users can visit the website, maybe download some software or use it interactively, and can explore this kind of sensations in solid and robust knowledge structures where some partners are working on products called ontologies and knowledge graphs. Our specialty in this project is to model an evolving kind of a knowledge graph where, for example, you take 500 years of paintings, and as time goes by you get more and more paintings with more and more content, more and more outlines, and so on and so forth, and this needs to be mapped to an expanding, more and more dedicated, more and more detailed structure, again called a knowledge graph. So this is where we are active. As for the technology underlying the future platform we are building, there's a very important development. One of our partners, and prominently one researcher from our partner, a Dutch partner called Dans, our friend and colleague Salvat Jehanov, he designed something called a dataverse, which is a beautiful approach to knowledge representation, combining vector spaces and graphs, and it hosts everything we have been and will be doing in this project, so thereby it's a crucial product. Everything we want to store and preserve for the future relies on his invention. We also have a brand new research result, practically arrived at today. What you see here is a painting of Andy Warhol of an endangered species, a frog. And of course this is a painting which happens to be by nature, by genre, untouchable. You don't touch paintings. But what we can do right now is to recreate a painting in 3 dimensions and thereby turn intangible art into tangible ones. Look at the 3-dimensional version, which was created by keeping the perspective, so it's slightly distorted, but nevertheless it gives you an idea. You can 3D print it, you see the colors, and in some sense somebody who does not see what's in the painting will be able to touch the content of the painting so that the semantics, the meaning is preserved. So this is new.